This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some big updates to share with you. The latest trend are gas stimulus checks going out in multiple states up to $400. I'll let you know the latest states and how much they're offering. Two new cities are giving out $500 per month for an entire year. The White House is trying to replenish coronavirus funds, and President Putin just gave a new speech calling his own Russians bad names. I'll let you know what he said there and then give you other important updates as well. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So stimulus check update, White House aims to replenish coronavirus funds. President Biden's White House is calling for further funding for COVID-19 testing and treatments, but hasn't ruled out further stimulus checks, nor has he mentioned anything about stimulus checks too. Just want to tell you the truth there, don't want to lead you on. So the White House, President Biden has trying to, and also Nancy Pelosi have been trying to get more coronavirus funds. That has stalled. It might not pass on the Republican front, and there hasn't been any mention about stimulus checks despite what this article is saying. Just want to give you the truth there. And war and inflation have people calling for more stimulus checks. That is true. People are calling for more stimulus checks, but whether or not it's moving forward is still yet to be seen. Also, Democrats unveil plan for quarterly stimulus checks, new quarterly stimulus checks. So now what this is talking about is the new trend of gas stimulus checks, with oil being above $100 a barrel, now slightly below, and then back above. Now what they're saying is gas stimulus checks are the new thing that they want to give out. So high gas prices prompt calls for tax breaks and stimulus checks. And so this is going on, they're trying to get this on a federal level to have quarterly gas stimulus checks depending on the price of oil or gas. And then also they're trying to have tax breaks as well in different states. So that's on a federal level. On the state level, we're starting to see a lot of different programs come out where they're giving a gas rebate, a gas voucher, a gas stimulus check. Goes by many different names. Basically what they're doing is they're going to give out checks to people to help offset the high price of gas. So for example, California's $400 gas rebate would take us a step closer to universal basic income. So basically in California, which has probably the highest gas price in the country, they're going to give a potential $400 gas rebate. It's not definite yet. So on Wednesday, a group of Democratic lawmakers unveiled a plan to give Californians a $400 tax rebate check. So it is in the form of a regular check, and they're saying that it's for gas, so this could be used for whatever. Even if you don't have a car and you don't pay for gas, these checks can be used for anything you want, even though that they're deemed as gas checks. So Youngin wants lawmakers to suspend gas tax for 3 months. Now this is different than a gas stimulus check or a gas rebate or just a tax rebate in general, because this is going to only help people who are directly at the pump. So the gas tax depends on how much it is, or how much the tax is for each state. For example, in Virginia, Glenn Youngkin estimated the move would save drivers 26 cents per gallon of gas. So that's how much the tax is, and they would give 3 months of no paying that extra 26 cents per gallon. Next, New York. So budget breakdown shows New Yorkers are paying 65 cents per gallon in gas taxes. So this could be a potential gas tax haven or holiday or break. A lot of different names here, but that's another state, New York. And then Maryland lawmakers expected to approve gas tax relief. So temporary suspension of Maryland's gas tax could save drivers 37 cents per gallon. Then in Georgia gas tax cut. Will gas stations pass along the savings to customers? I would think so, because if the gas tax is lower, I don't think the gas stations are going to keep that extra profit, that extra 29 cents, and not pass it on to customers. Regardless, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp is scheduled to sign into law the elimination of the state's 29-cent gasoline tax for at least 2 months today, Friday. So that's 2 months in Georgia, 29 cents per gallon there. Then in Florida, Florida drivers could get a gas tax break in October, which is interesting how they're waiting 7 months to get a gas tax break when the prices are really high now. So that's going on in Florida, and let me see if I see how much it says Yeah, I don't know if it says the gas tax in this article, but yes, there would be a gas tax break in October for Florida. And then El Monte, okay, this is in California. So in terms of the latest guaranteed income programs, El Monte okay's guaranteed income pilot program to provide $500 a month for 1 year for each participant. So this is in El Monte, California. And then in Waltz favors $500 Minnesota stimulus checks, not gas tax holiday to ease pain at the pump. So what's going on here is Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is pushing lawmakers to pass bigger rebate checks instead of a gas tax holiday as inflation surges to levels not seen in 40 years. So basically, this would be a $500 check to adults who make less than $164,000 a year and $1,000 per couple making less than $273,000. So this is going to be just regular $500 basically stimulus checks in Minnesota. And when it comes to what's going on in Russia and Ukraine, so Putin is getting angry and it looks like things are not going according to plan. Scum and traitors under pressure over Ukraine. Putin turns his ire on Russians, basically saying that he is calling anybody in Russia who opposes the war, the invasion of Ukraine, scum and traitors, and a few other bad names. Take a look at this video clip right here talking more about that.
We've seen what appear to be small signs of progress in negotiations between the Russians and Ukraine. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russia's demands are becoming more realistic. Experts say it appears Putin may be looking for a way out. In fact, a spokesman for the Kremlin says it's considering a potential compromise: Ukrainian neutrality. Under this, Ukraine would become a neutral country and have its own armed forces, similar to Sweden or Austria. It's a far cry from what the experts say Putin wanted when he invaded: to topple Ukraine's government and crush its military. Let's turn to Michael McFaul now, former U.S. ambassador to Russia. Ambassador, thanks. I want to talk about the peace talks in a minute, but today we saw Putin really lashing out. Ambassador, he seemed at least very mad, sent a warning to Russians who are against the war. He said this: the Russian people will always be able to distinguish true patriotism from scum and traitors, and will simply spit them out like an insect in their mouth onto the pavement. Does that tell us anything about Putin's mental state during these negotiations, Ambassador?
It does. He's increasingly unhinged. I've been watching his speeches for 22 years or so, and this is really crude language, Shep, as you can imagine, what he's saying in Russian. It's very crude. By the way, it's also very ironic because some of those people he's yelling about, the people that like to be in the West and eat caviar and foie gras and that, they're actually the children of the people that work for him. Something he's not telling his Russian citizens when he talks this way. But he seems increasingly unhinged, upset, and that's because the war is not going the way that he had hoped for.
You know, he lashed out at the oligarchs, too. Didn't call out a name specifically, but he referenced national traitors who can't make it without their mansions in Miami or the French Riviera. He's calling out Russian elite. What does that tell us?
Well, it tells us that it's more complex than I think we've been talking about Russian society and Russian decision-making. They're not all oligarchs are not all the same. The oligarchs he's talking about are the ones that became rich in the 90s. They made their peace with Putin, but they've never been his friends. He doesn't hang out with those guys, and he's not going to listen to them when they complain that their yachts are being seized. So when we sanction those people, and it was right to do that, I think we were naive to think that sanctioning them was going to lead to them to put pressure on Putin. There's another group, though, Shep, the oil and gas people, the people that run the big companies of oil and gas. They're all former KGB guys. They're close to Putin, and they're all in this war with him, tragically.
On the peace talks, this idea floated of Ukrainian neutrality. Think that's real and possible?
Maybe.
I mean, a way to save face? I don't know.
Well, Zelensky's hinted at neutrality. And importantly, at least Putin's spokespeople, as you just reported, are talking about maybe we don't have to do denazification. That means killing Zelensky and removing his regime as part of the negotiations. That sounds like some trade space. That's a good sign. But there's two bad signs. One, where are the borders of Ukraine? We have no progress on that. And two, throughout all these talks, Lower level officials in Russia have said them, but Putin never once has talked in that language. That speech he gave the other day, last night, didn't sound like a guy that was looking for compromise. It sounded like a guy that wanted to keep fighting the war.
It really did. Ambassador, thanks so much. I always appreciate you.
What are your thoughts on that? Is the war going to end soon? Hopefully. So many lives are suffering from that, but let me know your thoughts on all that down in the comments below. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Okay, just let you know, if anybody messes with you, Bella's got your back.
Thank you so much for watching. So if you haven't already, check out this video on my Wise Buys channel. Here's a quick clip. We got a punching bag, inflatable punching bag, and Bella loves it. She's doing really good with her kickboxing and everything, so now she could practice at home. But if you want to check out the video of Bella doing a review on this punching bag and see more of it, you can click the video up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.